Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. A special welcome on our very first video. In this series, we'll explore the fascinating world of genetics, from the basics of DNA and genes, exciting advances in medicine, biotechnology, evolution, and much more. In this first video, we'll begin with the fundamentals. What genetics is, why it is important, and how DNA and genes influence every living organism. If you find this video interesting, and informative, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Your support helps me create more educational content and reach more curious learners. Now let's begin our journey into the fascinating world of genetics. As we look around us, we see an incredible diversity of life. There are countless species of plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms, each with their own unique characteristics. From the tallest trees to the smallest insects, and from ancient fossils to modern humans, every living organism carries genetic information in the form of deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA. There are certain exceptions to this, of course. Some viruses have ribonucleic acid or RNA as their genetic material. The diversity of life around us is deeply rooted in variations within this genetic code, making genetics the foundation for understanding different life forms. Now, have you ever wondered why you resemble your parents or grandparents? Maybe you have your mother's eyes, your father's smile, your grandfather's height, or your grandmother's hair. Why siblings can look alike yet still be different? How traits are passed on from one generation to the next? Or why some diseases run in some families? These similarities occur because traits are passed from one generation to the next through genes, a process known as heredity. Heredity influences many physical characteristics such as eye color, skin tone, facial features, height, and even certain aspects of body structure. Sometimes family resemblances can be so strong that people can easily identify relationships by just looking at photographs of different generations. Inheritance is not limited to only physical appearance. Many abilities and predispositions can also have a genetic component. Talents in music, sports, mathematics, art, language, or problem solving may run in families because genes can influence traits such as coordination, memory, creativity, and cognitive abilities. However, it is important to remember that genes provide the potential, while environment, education, practice, and life experiences help shape how these abilities develop. So, when people say it's in your genes, they are referring to the remarkable role that genetics plays in shaping who we are, connecting us to our parents, grandparents, and countless generations before them. Heredity is the transmission of traits from parents to offspring through genes, influencing our appearance, abilities, health, and many aspects of our individuality. Genetics is the study of heredity, the process by which traits are passed from parents to offspring through genes. One of the most fascinating examples of heredity in action is the case of identical twins. Looking at these pictures, you can see pairs of individuals who look remarkably alike. But why does this happen? Identical twins are formed when a single fertilized egg or a zygote splits into two embryos during early development. Since both individuals originate from the same fertilized egg, they inherit identical genetic information, making them genetically identical. As a result, identical twins often share many physical characteristics such as eye color, hair color, facial features, blood group, and body structure. Their similarities can be so striking that people sometimes find it difficult to tell them apart. However, genetics is only part of the story. Even though identical twins have nearly the same DNA, they are not always exactly alike. Differences in environment, nutrition, lifestyle, education, experiences, and random biological events can influence how the genes are expressed. This is why identical twins have different personalities, interests, talents, fingerprints, or even different susceptibilities to certain diseases. Identical twins can be found in all human populations around the world and remind us of the powerful role that genes play in shaping our appearance and many aspects of who we are. Now let's get to understand how genetic information is organized inside our cells. This diagram shows the journey from a cell all the way down to DNA, the molecule which carries genetic information. The cell is the basic unit of life. Every living organism is made up of a number of cells. Inside the cells is a nucleus, which acts as the control center of the cell, and the nucleus contains our genetic material organized in the form of chromosomes. Humans have 46 chromosomes, which are arranged as 23 pairs. Chromosomes carry all our genetic information and contain the instructions that determine many of our traits, such as eye color, blood type, and height. Now, if we zoom in on a single chromosome, we find that it is made up of DNA tightly coiled around proteins called as histones. This packaging allows nearly 2 meters of DNA to fit inside the tiny nucleus of a cell. Now, let's zoom in even further. A gene is a specific segment of DNA found on a chromosome. Genes contain instructions for making proteins which perform most of the functions in our bodies. Humans have approximately 20,000 to 25,000 genes. Now, at the most basic level is DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA has a double helix and is made up of four chemical bases: adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine, abbreviated as A, T, C, and G. The sequence of these bases forms a genetic code that stores our biological information. Now that we have discussed heredity and genes, an important question arises. Are we shaped only by our genes? The answer is no. Our characteristics are influenced by both nature and nurture. Nature refers to the genetic information we inherit from our parents. These genes influence traits such as eye color, hair color, height, blood group, and can also contribute to our natural abilities, personality traits, and susceptibility to certain diseases. Nurture refers to the environmental factors that influence us throughout our lives. These include our family, education, culture, nutrition, lifestyle, experiences, friendships, and opportunities for learning and growth. Now let's look at some of the examples shown. A child learning chess from a parent may inherit certain cognitive abilities, but developing expertise in chess requires patience, guidance, and encouragement. Similarly, musical talent may have a genetic component, but mastering an instrument requires years of training and exposure. Athletic abilities can be influenced by genetics, yet coaching, exercise, nutrition, and determination play equally important roles. Culture and environment also shape who we become. The traditions we learn, the languages we speak, the skills we acquire, and the values we adopt are all influenced by the environment in which we grow up. Our DNA provides the blueprint, but our experiences help determine how that blueprint is used. This interaction between nature and nurture explains why even identical twins who share the same DNA can develop different interests, talents, behaviors, and health outcomes when exposed to different environments and experiences. That brings us now to the end of this video. I hope you now have a better understanding of what genetics is, why it is important, and how DNA and genes form the foundation of life. If you found this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more such content. Feel free to share this video with your friends, classmates, or anyone who's interested in learning about science. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll continue our journey into the fascinating world of genetics. Goodbye.